Very generally and not incorrectly, we can think of the gospel text, any of them, as travel logs. They move us through the life of Jesus, and with even more focus yet, they also let us watch Jesus move. And in fact, some of the Gospels intensify the story of Jesus as an individual on his way somewhere important, on his way to Jerusalem. Or better yet, we can say that he was on his way to the actual Jerusalem, and then really another one to follow, one that we're called to. So he was on his way. Another way of framing the Gospels is through the actions of Jesus. And certainly watching him teach and preach and heal others, dine, argue, forgive, and pray. These are instructive of his life, inspiring of our lives. We gather today at the Mass of the Holy Spirit to ask in such a special way for God's presence in our lives and in the life of the university. Known as a source of wisdom, Paul says so in our second reading, and so does the prophet in the first. The Holy Spirit is a source of enlightenment and influence in our lives that sparks good decisions, creates knowledge, names insights, and leads us to truth. And so many teachings of the church speak of this truth, and in doing so, they try again to give us a glimpse of the life of God. Today and elsewhere in other letters to other communities, Paul moves beyond the influence of wisdom to describe more interventions of the Holy Spirit, a range of gifts that fills our lives with faithfulness, service to others, genuine discernment, prophecy, and even a sense of eloquence. And so we can and should ask for these gifts as we start a new year of classes, of projects, reports, retreats. Here at Creighton, we want God to be with us. In good Jesuit form, you might even wonder what you yourself, what you in particular, need in your own life. Ignatian perspective always roots us in a place, within a context. It demands honesty about who we are, what's around us. Patience, perspective, courage, respite, inspiration, conversation, the list goes on. As the new year starts then, what's a good gift to ask for? What kind of grace do you need? The first reading says, what kind of wisdom, instruction, discourse, and desire is now necessary and right? At the Mass of the Holy Spirit, this is certainly part of our prayer today. But as we ask God to be with us, let's also shift the camera. Let's see how we're impacted. This campus, our place of higher learning, fashions discoveries, productivity, expertise, professional credentials, meaningful careers, vocations. But behind all of this, or perhaps even before it, it facilitates transformations. So much of our work on this campus is about changing lives. We don't just gain gifts and grow, but something more wonderfully deep and fresh happens. And as much as we can be grateful for the things that God gives us, it is in this place of change, in and of conversion, that God begins to call us forward. It is what ultimately propels us. This transformation compels us to see more clearly, to feel more empathically, to respond more quickly to the forces in our world that alienate ourselves from the land we inhabit, from communities of others, from one another, from God. In and of our Catholic and Jesuit identity, what does the Holy Spirit ask of us